Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Sometimes it's okay to be petty, especially when they're deliberately trying to insult you and impose their point of view. Well, the main villain in our first story didn't work out. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. My absolute worst customer experience ever. I've been in retail for a number of years, off and on, and I believe that I must finally leave. I don't get paid a competitive wage, and I've missed out on too many holidays and weekend get-togethers with my family due to my job schedule. It's just not worth it anymore. I'll miss my wonderful customers, but I will not miss the crappy ones. LOL, I will also miss my wonderful coworkers. I just need to put my family first. So here's the story. The absolute worst customer I had in my time in retail. A woman and her boyfriend come up to the service desk with an air mattress. It's been inflated and deflated and has no packaging. She claims it won't stay inflated. They never do. Our policy is that we only do exchanges on air beds and never without a receipt. These things get expensive and people will use them once and return them afterwards. The woman has no receipt but claims that she paid for it with a debit card. If we can find the exact mattress on our shelf, we may be able to use her debit card to find the purchase in the system and do an exchange. So my manager instructs the department employee to inspect the customer's mattress and do his best to compare it to what we have on the shelf and find the one that they purchased. The department employee and I are both thinking this is a total waste of time and labor, but my manager insists that we owe it to the customer to do what we can to help them. As we're waiting at the service desk for the department dude to find the right mattress, the woman attempts to harass me. She says things like, "I don't understand why this is such a big deal," and "Why do you guys always make it so hard for me whenever I come here? Why can't you just give me another mattress? This happens all the time. Every time I come here, you guys always give me a hard time." All the while, she's holding her phone to her ear, but she's not carrying on any kind of conversation. Out of curiosity, I call up the department dude and ask him how he's coming with the search. He says that it's difficult to tell which mattress they have, but he doesn't think it's any of the ones on the shelf, so he's going to look in the back room. I hang up and turn to the woman to inform her that the employee is having some trouble finding the right mattress, but he's still looking. She looks right at me and calls me a B. I apologize for the wait and step off to the side. There are no other customers and my service desk partner is out on lunch. I'm all alone with this psycho. I call my manager and told her that this customer is getting aggressive and I feel I need backup. She simply reiterated to me that we owe it to her to make an attempt to find the transaction in the system and told me to reassure her that we would do whatever we could to help her. Unfortunately, this is par for the course with this manager. Anytime we call for backup, she's never willing nor available to help. She constantly passes off responsibility to other lower managers in the store in all the departments. I could be alone at the service desk with a line of 20 people, and when I call her, she'll tell me to call someone else. I can't wait to be rid of her. So I'm a sitting duck at the desk while this woman verbally assaults me, all the while holding her phone to her ear. She begins to taunt me. "You're a B. Yeah, that's what you are. My name is a B. My name, B. My name, B. My name, B." I simply refuse to respond. She's effing nuts, and there's no way that any interaction with her is going to be anything other than disastrous. This continued while another department employee came to the desk to collect the returns from his return bin. He looked at the woman and said, "Who, her?" And the woman said, "Yeah, she's a B." He quietly left with his returns. I call our loss prevention detective. She's on lunch. Finally, I call my manager back and calmly, slowly, firmly, and deeply insist that I need her up here, that the woman is calling me a B and needs to go. Now. She arrives at the desk and says, "Excuse me, are you calling people names?" The woman says, "Yes, her. She's a B." My manager says, "Okay, you can leave now. We were trying to help you, but you can't treat my people this way. Finally. Later, my manager comes up to me, gives me a hug, and apologizes. Ugh, too little too late. She still hasn't changed. The morale in our store is way low, lower than at any time in the 2 years I've been working there. Even one of the longtime managers has said it's way worse now than it was even a year ago. So I'm getting a job at a bank. Yes, it's still customer service, but I'm hopeful that the higher pay and better hours will make up for the occasional difficult customer. And our second story. You'll pay for my children's vacation in Hawaii. Backstory. I'm always traveling for work. I'd be sent on assignments for weeks and usually to cool places. My job pays for hotel, my airfare, and $50 food voucher for the day. 2 years ago, I was sent to San Francisco for 6 weeks and 2 weeks in effing Hawaii. I was so excited. I asked 2 of my cousins and my sister if they wanted to join me on my work trip. Everyone just pays for their airfare and activities. My family and I went out for brunch on Sunday morning and began to ask them who would like to join me. My sister was unable to go because she was taking a summer class. I asked my aunt if she would allow cousin 1 and cousin 2 to go. I began to tell them it's a great opportunity because San Francisco and Honolulu is super expensive and saving on a hotel room would help with the burden. Hotel room rates for these 2 cities go for $150 to $350 a day. My job placed me in a good hotel room with a beach view in Honolulu. One night stay was $350. I was there for 2 weeks. I was saving them about $4,900 just in hotel costs in Honolulu. The hotel room in San Francisco cost $250 a day, and I was in San Francisco for 6 weeks. Conversation. Me, CB Mom, Cousin 1, and Cousin 2. Both cousins are over 21. Me. I have a great opportunity for Cousin 1 and Cousin 2. I'm going to San Francisco for 6 weeks and 2 weeks in Hawaii. My job is paying for the hotel room, so the only thing my cousins have to worry about is airfare and personal activities. CB and. That's so cool. I'll buy the tickets tonight and let you know how much the airfare was so you can pay me back. Me. I was a tad confused, so I explained to my aunt that my cousins will have to pay for their own airfare and personal activities. They don't have to pay for hotel room. CB and. Wait, you want cousin 1 and 2 to pay for their own airfare? Why can't you pay for the airfare and stuff? You're working. Me. Cousin 1 and 2 are also working and making money. At the time, they were in summer vacation and they were able to take time off easily because they both worked at their school library at their colleges. And cousin 1 and 2 are not paying. They have to go for free. My mom steps in the conversation to save me. Mom, this is a really good opportunity because your kids are going to save about $2,000, maybe even $3,000 because my daughter is saving them the hotel room cost. Me, still trying to help. I can help cousin 1 and 2 get airfare discounts through my company, and I won't mind sharing my food voucher with them. It's $50, but I bet we can live on sandwiches. CB and. Why can't you ask your company to pay for their airfare? Me. Because cousin 1 and 2 are not employees. CB and, in a nasty attitude, well, if you want your cousins to go, you'll have to pay for their airfare, meals, and personal activities. If you want company, that's the price you'll pay. You're robbing them from a good experience. You're a greedy person who needs to learn how to share. Her last remark really hurt me. A week before I left on my work trip, I asked them one last time. My aunt kept saying I was robbing from them the best experience of their lives because I was refusing to pay. My mom joined me on my trip, and using company discount, I was able to find a round-trip flight for $500 for her. My mom paid for her own flight. We both split the food voucher. I would work from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. from Monday to Thursday on this particular work trip, which made it easier to work and travel. Mom spent about $1,000 on a 2-week trip to Hawaii, and she doesn't regret it. My job really doesn't care if I bring company, as long as it doesn't interfere with my job experience. I hope you didn't feel guilty at all. If I had to guess, it's because your aunt couldn't afford to send your cousins herself, so she had to make someone else the bad guy. technically I work here, but I work in my own company, which is in a way like a very expensive Home Depot. I get a lot of wealthy customers whom are usually very polite, apart from some who are downright entitled. One day I was walking through my shop, which I visit only when asked to by managers or other questions regarding work. I do not sell, as my appearance doesn't immediately make people more inclined to buy. I'm in full business attire, casually strolling through the shop, when I hear a lady in her mid-20s call out, "Hey you, I came to the shop, bring me a coffee." She will be referred to as E, meaning entitled. Well, obviously, I turned around because I don't let anybody treat my staff with disrespect. I look at the lady and reply, "First of all, good day. Second, unfortunately, we are not a restaurant or a coffee shop. We do not serve coffee, but if you would like some, I can recommend a fantastic place." So I turned around and was about to leave, but the lady had a different idea. E, "I am," important person's name's, "wife. How dare you treat me like this? I will call my husband." In my country, the biggest threat is not the manager. It's the husband, brother, father, mother, anyone really. So obviously I asked her to go ahead. She called her husband, saying, "This petty butthole, this bum just insulted me. He said I'm a B-word and that I'm this and that, etc. Come deal with this." Quite frankly, I was pretty happy she called him. The man had bought some stuff from my shop on credit and owed me money. I had a pretty big grin on my face, which egged her on. She rampaged through the shop complaining to all my staff about this insufferable servant, me. The staff was kind of laughing, but remained professional, so I decided to sit down and wait. After 5 minutes, the guy walks into the shop. You know the walk of someone who's about to tear crap up? Yeah, he walks in and greets me. Husband, "Oh, hey man, I brought money in so I can pay you for my order, blah, 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 blah." His wife is confused a bit, but still pretty determined. She stomps over to where her husband is and continues, "This animal treated me like trash. He insulted me and my status." And to her husband, "You should call the owner to get him fired." The husband is shocked. He's a regular customer and got married recently. I mean, that man was standing there going from pale white to bright red in the face. I would give up a lot of money to know what was his thought process. Suddenly, he gracefully and shamefully at the same time turns to his wife and utters just one word. "Car." She responds, but he... Now. The man turned to me and said, "I'm so sorry that just happened. I will talk to her and explain how to properly treat people," and he offered me a chekona, which is like a big table full of food in honor of me. I declined. He paid and left, and in about 2 hours, she came into the shop with the husband's mother and apologized to everyone. Since then, she's been a good customer, and I enjoy her and her husband's company. Still laugh about it, though. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.